You don't know her yet.
That's what I was gonna say.
She's not one of us.
If you only trust the people you grow up with, you won't make many allies.
That's all right. I don't need many allies. We're family.
You know, she's a G.
The four of us. The last of the Starks.
I've never been a Stark.
You are.
Here it comes.
Just as much Ned Stark's child as anyone.
The big reveal.
You're my brother.
Brienne already knows.
It's your choice.
This is a big moment right now. What he decides to do next. It's like a turning point.
I need to tell you something.
Khaleesi's gonna snap.
What is it?
I want to see their reaction. Never mind my reaction.
Tell them.
They're gonna take that moment from me?
Do you know how long I've waited to tell tall person jokes? To climbing mountains.
How's Tormund gonna take this?
What's she like down there?
What? That's not your concern. You're a dog.
I am the
It's been that long?
to know.
I knew you were fucking her.
A pair of tall blonde toffs.
When did he get there?
What are you doing up north?
What are you doing with that?
Oh, this is for you. For both of you.
I'm just trying.
I've never hit a dwarf before, but say another word and I will belt you.
See, I don't believe you do that.
Oh!
I knew your sister was dead the second I saw those dragons. Now, your army may be torn to shit, but I'd still bet on your dragon queen to win. And it just so happens I'm a betting man.
We made a deal long ago, do you remember?
He did not deserve a punch.
You'd pay me double. What's Double River on?
High God.
My God, are you mad?
It's better than being dead.
He's not going to kill us. He wouldn't be talking.
Yo, he will.
I'll come find you when the war is done. Till then, don't die.
So he just snuck away, made this deal. He's gonna sneak back in and just act like nothing happened. How did he get in there? Where are the guards? We know Bronn's good, but goddamn.
For fuck's sake.
On your own?
These two.
Not anymore.
I definitely cherish any scenes with these two now.
You're heading to King's Landing?
Some unfinished business.
Me too.
His brother.
I don't plan on coming back.
Neither do I.
Gonna leave me to die again if I get hurt.
Probably.
The history between these two.
Why her?
You know she loves your brother.
That doesn't mean she'll be a good queen.
You seem determined to dislike her.
He's trying to get through to her. Trying to win her over for Khaleesi. But she just heard the news too, so she's kind of thinking about that right now.
You'll be the true power in the north.
I don't want Jon to go down there. The men in my family don't do well in the capital.
Ain't that the truth?
But as your brother once told me, he's not a Stark. Are you all right?
Ain't that the truth?
What if there's someone else? Someone better?
I'm taking the free folk home. We've had enough of the South. The women down there don't like me.
He got over it pretty quick.
This is the North, you know. It isn't home. We need room to wander.
They're like outdoor
Where
cats.
we belong.
They need to roam.
It's where he belongs to. Will you take him with you?
What?
I'll be happier up there.
Let him roam as
So
well?
would you. This is farewell then. You never know.
I hope it isn't. So he's actually taking Ghost with him? They were waiting for their moment with him. Another one.
If it's a boy, we want to name him Jon.
Hell yeah.
I hope it's a girl.
I'll say it every time. I always thought Sam was gonna die when he was first introduced, that same episode. To see the bond that these two formed, brothers.
You're the best friend I ever had. You too, Sam. How many others know?
Including us?
8. And then it's not a secret anymore. It's information.
Word is out.
He has the better claim to the throne. He doesn't want the throne. I'm not sure it matters what he wants.
People will still call for it.
Fact is, people are drawn to him. He loves our queen.
She loves him.
And she loves him.
Yup.
If we marry them, they could rule together.
She's his aunt.
They never stopped a Targaryen before.
No, but Jon grew up in Winterfell.
That's what I was saying.
Common in the north.
Didn't stop Cersei either.
I worry about her state of mind.
We are advisors to the Queen. Worrying about her state of mind is our job. We still have to take King's Landing. Maybe Cersei will win and kill us all. That would solve our problems.
That'd be the worst ending. Is that why people hate this show, this series, this final season? Cersei just wins it all in the end. The last woman standing. Yo. So impressive. There's been a few times with the dragons where I'm like, no! 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 What the fuck? No! Here I am talking about their CGI. Now he just CG died. Oh, fuck. One dragon remains. Holy shit. Get him, Khaleesi! Dodging those ones. Yo! I was not expecting any of this episode. God damn. Where is she? Oh no. No. They were just having that nice moment there too, holding hands.
Your people have heard the usurper is coming. They are grateful for your protection within the walls of the Red Keep.
Certain about the dragon.
I saw it sink beneath the waves.
That must have been glorious. When the war is won, the lion shall rule the land, the kraken shall rule the sea. And our child shall one day rule them.
I hate this couple so much. Like, don't get me wrong. They're good character. Well, Euron's a good character, but Cersei's an incredible character. But
She's coming for you.
These two together,
Of course she is.
I don't like. How'd they nab her?
I promised you I would look you in the eye and speak directly if I ever thought you were making a mistake. This is a mistake. These are the people you came here to protect. I beg you, Your Grace, do not destroy the city you came to save.
He's being real with her, trying to get through to her.
Do you believe we're here for a reason, Daenerys? I'm here to free the world from tyrants. That is my destiny. And I will serve it no matter the cost.
I feel like she may be becoming one herself.
Speaking to Cersei will not prevent a slaughter. But perhaps it's good that people see that Daenerys Stormborn made every effort to avoid bloodshed. And Cersei Lannister refused.
Yo, she can be scary. So pretty, but so scary too. He's not gonna say anything.
Destroy that city. You're better than she is. You're a good man and you can't save her. You don't need to die with her. Stay here. Stay with me.
Wow, she's like pleading to him.
Stay.
You think I'm a good man? I pushed a boy out of the tower window, crippled him for life.
That was season 1, Jaime.
She's hateful. And so am I.
Here we go. Never ends. Well, I guess 2 episodes from now it ends, but regardless. This is dope. Please don't kill her. This is intense. And Cersei's just looking on all smug. I hate when she's confident, because she always has something up her sleeve.
Queen Daenerys demands Cersei's unconditional surrender and the immediate release of Missandei of Narth.
Queen Cersei demands Daenerys' unconditional surrender. If she refuses, Missandei of Narth will die here and now.
Yo! It's like I've had enough of this guy. Negotiate.
No, you don't care about your people. They hate you, and you hate them. You've always loved your children. If not for yourself, then for your child. Your reign is over. But that doesn't mean your life has to end.
You had a good run.
Doesn't mean your baby has to die.
She wants to see blood spilled. She wants to remain in control. Don't do it, Cersei.
If you have any last words, now is the time.
Don't kill her. That was her final word. Oh, God. For fuck's sakes. That was your chance. There's no turning back from this. See her face change? He's looking on like, what did you do? It's over. It's over. Fuck! The episode's over. It's over. God damn. Episode 4. There's only 2 episodes left. I don't want it to end. I did not want this episode to end. Fuck. So freaking good, man. And there's people that don't like this. That's perfectly fine. You can just leave right now because I'm fucking loving this. Edge of my seat. Almost the entire episode. For the first half of it, I was kind of... I don't know. It was a little bit somber, I guess. We need a second kind of rebuild. Let things sink in a bit. Well, I guess... recover after the last episode because yeah, the last episode, the Great War, but it was not the last war. Before I go any further though, I should say, let me position myself properly here. That was another long episode, but it definitely flew by yet again. But I should say, all right guys, that was Game of Thrones final season, season 8, episode 4, the last of the Starks. And once again, as always, there's a lot to discuss, a lot to go over, especially now because this was an extended episode, an even longer episode. The third last episode. I can't believe we're here at this point. It pretty much, for the most part, was what I was thinking going in regards to it kind of being a setup episode, and I feel like next episode is really going to be the last war, the last battle. That's where we're really going to see it all take place and all go down. And then I feel like the last episode of the series is actually going to be more or less like an epilogue, kind of letting us know where everybody stands in regards to who's remaining when everything wraps up in the very end. But man, what an episode. Yet again, I understand people don't like, I guess, how this entire series ends, but from what the way it was told to me is a lot of people, they hate this entire season. The final season is shit. Man, this is the 4th episode and I'm still 100% on board with the show. I'm loving all the interactions with these characters, the history between these characters, just, I don't know, just seeing them all in the room for, I feel like maybe it was the first 20 minutes, first half hour of the episode, but they were pretty much all just in the dining room of Winterfell, just seeing our characters interact, celebrate a little bit. I was a little bit worried at first because Gendry tried like sneaking off at one point to find Arya. We already know why. And then, yeah, it feels like everything just stopped all of a sudden. Like the music stopped, the happiness just stopped. There was like a vibe check there. And then Dany was actually calling him out like, Gendry, Baratheon, is that you? And then she's basically like, even though that wasn't officially your name or your title previously, Lord, I'm naming you Lord now. And then everybody was like celebrating. It was a glorious moment, a happy moment after what we went through last episode, after even the very start of this episode, coming across or seeing all the dead bodies, seeing Jorah's, that almost broke me down again. I don't know why. It was just seeing Khaleesi there. It's her facial acting, like the tears. She was so good this episode. Actually, I gotta say, a lot of the actors, I don't know, maybe the script isn't the best. You guys aren't loving it, but I gotta say, these actors are still coming with it. Like they're still going hard with the acting, regardless of the script, regardless of the material that they're actually being given. I feel like they're going for the Emmy. So yeah, I definitely noticed in regards to a lot of their acting, especially with hers, because I think it's Emilia Clarke. I think that's the actress that plays her. But yeah, she was so good this episode. Her eyes, man, they're so powerful and so emotional too. Like they tell a story. You know what they say, like a picture could tell 1,000 words, or a picture is worth 1,000 words, or whatever the expression is. Her expressions, they tell 1,000 different words. Like one moment they can make you feel so happy when she's smiling. You see her eyebrows too, just like the uniqueness of her facial structure. Like I'm just praising that alone, just this woman, because she's that damn good. But it also comes down to the character, because these scenes, these emotional moments, like sometimes she doesn't need to say a single word. That's what I'm really trying to say, is it's all in her face, in her eyes, and her eyebrows, the way that they form. And she's so gorgeous. I freaking love her, but you also feel for her in those times. And that one scene alone, there were so many different moments, because that one moment with Gendry, she named him Lord Gendry Baratheon, or whatever the exact title was. It was super happy. That was a great moment. And then shortly after that, she's taking everything in. She's looking at Jon. It was almost like a sense of jealousy, a little bit of jealousy, because she was seeing the way that people love Jon Snow. I don't even know if he's still going by that title, but that's still what I'm going to call him. The people love Jon Snow, and we saw it there. We've always seen it. Like, it was also brought up this episode that he's a goddamn war hero at this point. Multiple battles, like, he's been the MVP of, so it makes sense. Like, people are just drawn to him. And even Tormund there, as he was hyping him up, I think that's really where the jealousy set in, because Tormund was like, I also want to bring up, I want to discuss Tormund after this point I'm about to make, but he was basically like the ultimate hype man for Jon Snow in that moment, because he's like, even though he's little, he fights like he's big, and even though he dies, he still comes back to fight again. And I was a little bit worried there in that moment, because I was like, shit, does Khaleesi know that full story? And then also, before I should go back to that point with Khaleesi and Gendry, I'm like, is she going to kill him off all of a sudden now that the Great War is over? Does she not want any more further Baratheons to exist? So I was like, I don't know. When everything just stopped there, I got a little bit worried. And then it became a happy moment. So that was great to see. But then afterwards, with the Jon Snow stuff and Tormund hyping him up, Khaleesi was just watching on. And I don't know. She wasn't feeling it. I sensed some jealousy. She was taking it all in. Sansa as well, she was watching Khaleesi and the way that she was interacting. Like, there's a few moments there where, I don't know, just everybody being in that same room. And then also afterwards, there was some sadness. Like, then the discussion with Khaleesi and Jon when they're one-on-one afterwards, where she's basically like pleading to him and begging to him, like, hey, things are good right now. If we're going to take over, I'm going to be in command. She's like, you're the rightful heir to the throne, I guess. And he's like, I don't want it. I've already knelt to you. Like, you're my queen. And she's saying, if you want to stay that way, then you have to keep this quiet. Keep this a secret. And there's so many moments in this episode where I was like, all right, I see it from this character's perspective. And, oh, she makes a great point. And he makes a great point. I completely understand where they're coming from. So, I don't know. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with the writing. I think it's great. I'm still enjoying it. If the writing can make me see all these different sides of these characters and still not fully choose one side and still being on board with multiple characters and their sides, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Call me whatever you want to call me at this point. I'm just enjoying this. I think the writing is good. I'd even go as far as saying it's great. I've even received a few comments that I don't want to say they're fully agreeing with me at this point, but they're kind of bringing up the point that even on its worst days, this show is still amongst the best. So even if this is widely considered as the worst season of Game of Thrones, it's still far superior to other shows. So in the long scheme of things, in the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. Yes, it might not be as good as it once was for some people, but it's still a million times better than whatever else is out there. So I don't know. I'm still enjoying it, guys. That's really what I'm trying to say. And with those moments, with these scenes, with these characters where I can see everybody's sides, where everybody's coming from, and that moment especially with that scene with Khaleesi and Jon, I was seeing both their sides. Like, Jon's like, I gotta let Arya know. I gotta let Sansa know. They're my sisters. Like, he's an honorable man. Like, we know this about Jon Snow. He's always gonna tell the truth. Even if it bites him in the ass, that's just who he is. Like, he's always going to try and do the right thing. With her, like, I understand where she's coming from too. Like, she doesn't want things to change. If she is going to rule, once Cersei's taken care of, with her out of the way, people aren't going to buy into it unless it is kept a secret. So I completely understand where they're both coming from. And that's what makes those scenes so tough, to kind of choose a side as well and kind of figure out what exactly they're going to do. Because a lot of the time I'm like, all right, I get where they're coming from, or I get where he's coming from, I get where she's coming from. How do they compromise? What the fuck are they going to do from here now? Now that I see both sides, how do they come to a resolution? So that's the interesting part of the show. And that's part of the show that I've always really liked. It's like I don't know what it is, the debating in regards to like the conniving. And I know in this particular scene it wasn't conniving, but that gets characters speculating in regards to them starting to connive, because we see afterwards with Varys and Tyrion, they're talking like she may need to be out of the picture in regards to what is best for the realm. So that's what I'm talking about. Like all this different stuff, it can lead. That's why it's just as good to me watching this final season as it was with earlier seasons, with people vying for the throne and their rightful claim to the throne and all these different titles. And everybody's saying, like, I don't know, like, it's just still super interesting to me. That's basically what I'm trying to say with Jon potentially being the rightful heir to the throne. And most people are saying now, yes, he has the best stake for the clone, or best stake for the throne because of his bloodline and everything that he's been through. Like, people are going to get behind him. They want to see him sitting up on the throne once they know his full story and who he actually is. Even more people are going to be behind him at that point in time. So I get that. But now it leads to like all these different characters, like they're kind of plotting like behind the scenes, and that's when Game of Thrones is at its best for me, and that's when it really works for me, when you don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, how things are actually gonna play out, because there's so much happening behind the scenes and so many characters that they think, or you think, they're actually in control as like the head puppet master. For the longest time, I always thought Tywin was the main like puppet master of the show, even though he was never actually the king. So that's what's so crazy. And we have so many characters now because we're basically just left with power players in this show, where they all have the ability to really make moves, power moves and power plays, whether it's behind the scenes or not, on the front lines of the battlefield. Like, all these characters are super capable. So I don't know how it's all going to play out at this point. Like, who's really going to take charge? Because that's another thing I have to bring up also. Man, there's so many things I got to bring up from this episode. I'm definitely going to forget. But before I bring up this next thing, I'm just going to say it now out loud before I forget. With the dragon just being taken down, I did also want to bring up Tormund, because I discussed him a little bit in being the ultimate hype man for Jon, which I freaking love. I love their friendship, their bond. And oh my god, there's so much that's going through my head right now, because speaking of Jon, he said a lot of goodbyes this episode. He basically gave the nod, final goodbye to Ghost. Are you kidding me? Final hug. Final goodbye to Sam? Are you kidding me? Like, they're gonna name their future baby after him, which that also pulled my heartstrings. I freaking love. But going back to Tormund, man, there's so much in this episode. They jam-packed a lot of stuff that I freaking love, that I want to talk about, but there's just too much. Like, I'm already forgetting a lot from this episode. But back to Tormund. Now that I know his name, I just love saying it out loud. Tormund. But yes, with him, I kind of felt bad this episode, because before I forget, we see his love. He's kind of had like a super crush on Brienne, and I kind of thought that might be a problem also with Jaime actually hooking up. And that's another thing. Jesus Christ, so much jam-packed this episode. But Jaime and Brienne, they became a thing after Tormund, like, he was shooting a shot. How long has he been shooting a shot now? When did they first meet? I feel like start of season 7 maybe, all those characters came together. I could be wrong. It might have been before then, but he's always had a love for her ever since he locked eyes with her, locked eyes on her. Like, because of her sheer size alone, like, he's like, that is the woman for me. I love her. And then seeing him get super bombed this episode, he's chugging away, he's partying away, hyping up Jon, drinking the night away, having fun. Then he tried to shoot a shot with Brienne at the end of the night, and then Jaime kind of cock-blocked him, and I didn't really fully understand why. I thought Jaime was kind of protecting her because he was so drunk and belligerent in that moment, but no, Jaime wanted her for himself. It was a bit of jealousy and kind of a cock block. I don't know if Tormund would have ever actually gone in her pants or in her bed. I don't think she ever looked at him that way. I think she likes him just as an admirer, but I don't know if she ever felt that way. We've kind of always seen the admiration that Brienne has for Jaime, so seeing them, maybe I shouldn't be so surprised. I just didn't think that they would ever actually be a thing. So Jaime definitely cock-blocked Tormund, and I felt so bad for him because he was crying afterwards. Yes, he was super drunk, and yes, he got over it pretty quick. I think with the help of Sansa, if I was reading that correctly, because we saw those two girls. I don't know where they came from, but the one that Tormund got, she was pretty fine too. Where was she hiding the entire time? I didn't know there was more women that looked like that in Winterfell, but that was great because I think Sansa did send her over, because afterwards we see Sansa go up to the Hound when he basically turned down or shot down the other girl. she was basically like, hey, you could have had some fun with her. And I really enjoyed that because the moment with Sansa and the Hound also, where she actually put her hand on over his because, I don't know, he pushes away everybody. And there's more I want to discuss with the Hound after regards to Arya. There's so much. I'm going to try and get through this to the best of my ability, as much as I can remember. If I forget anything, I will discuss it in the comments with you guys down below. Let me know. That's one thing I want to ask you guys. What was your favorite scene, or what, if you had to choose a moment that really that really stood out? Because there was a lot of like sweet moments in regards to that opening, I think, half hour in Winterfell. They gave us a lot of great moments. What was your favorite out of those scenes there? That's really what I want to ask you guys. Oh my God, I almost had a seizure there, but yes. Sansa, going back to Sansa now, with her moment with the Hounds, I really like that because he's like, you've changed, you've grown, you're not the little bird anymore. And then he was also saying, like, if you would have gone with me back when shit was hitting the fan, I think the Blackwater episode, none of this would have happened. Littlefinger, Ramsay, none of that would have actually taken place. You wouldn't have had to go through any of that bullshit. And she said, her reply was like, I forget exactly what it was, but it was great because I feel like everything slowed down that moment. The camera kind of panned in, zoomed in slowly on her, and it really stood out. That was a standout moment for me. I really enjoyed that moment because she's basically like, if I didn't go through all that, I wouldn't be who I am today, or we wouldn't be where we are. I forget exactly what she said. I'm gonna have to go back and watch, but I really did like that moment, that scene in particular. But speaking of the Hound, afterwards, he's like, I still have business to settle, like unfinished business. I'm just gonna leave. I can't just chill here. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure he wants to take out his brother. That's like his unfinished business. I could be wrong about that. But then we see Arya riding off with him. But let's rewind a little bit before that, because let's rewind. Gendry, right after he was given his new title, his new name, new whatever, he's now a lord, I guess. He's now ruling something, looking after something. He now owns some land. I think it was Storm something, but he was looking for Arya right away. And then he proposed this episode. Like, that did not take long at all. I don't even think he had a ring prepared for her, but he did propose to Arya. And you know what? I was kind of on board with it. Like, I did say when they initially hooked up, like, it's not something that I was actually expecting. It kind of caught me off guard. But it does make sense, those two, because they went through a lot. They kind of grew up together, not as little kids, but a lot of years has passed since they first met, and their journey really started after, or Arya's journey really started after Ned's death and being on that journey with Gendry. So it does make sense. They've been through a lot as well. If she's going to be with anyone, I guess he is the best candidate, but I feel like no one's really good enough for Arya. She's like I said that episode, she's basically, or I basically consider her my little sister at this point, almost like my daughter. So I don't know. That whole thing was weird, but it does make sense. So I'm not like saying it's bad writing or anything like that. But then I felt like it was good writing, because when it came back to his actual proposal, marriage, and I was rooting for it at one point, but her responding like, I'm not a lady like that. Like, I could never be a lady like that. Like, that's not who I am. That goes back. That's who her character is. We know she's never wanted that. That's never who she's been, even with her previous discussions with Ned going back to season 1. Like, she's never acted like that either, so it does make sense. Kind of feel bad because she does deserve happiness also, but yeah, she made the decision. Like, maybe at the end of the day, she might change her mind once everything is over, said and done with Cersei, and we have a rightful or a true king or queen. I don't know who's going to be at the end of the day on the throne. Maybe when she's ready to live a peaceful life, she might change her mind. And I guess if she ever does change her mind, I feel like Gendry will be the best suitor for her to change her mind for, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe that's just not the life for her, and she's perfectly content not having that life. At least she was ready to go out with a bang once. She basically did, so at least she tried it. Maybe it just wasn't for her. So yeah, I don't know where her story goes, how it ends, but at least for now, that's not the path that she's going to go on, just being a lady, being Gendry's lady. So I feel like she has a lot more fighting to do before the series is over and done with, because we still have 2 episodes left, and that's where I definitely want to discuss next, because she's making her way over to King's Landing. Hey, Ghosts, you always come during my outro. Come here, buddy. You want to come up? Let's see if he actually does it. Hey, good boy. You are such a good boy. I love you, buddy. And speaking of Ghost, I kind of brought him up already. The show's Ghost. Hey, were you sleeping? Yeah, Jon just kind of sent him off with Tormund. I don't know how I feel about that because I was like, I always wanted to see Ghost by Jon's side. Even if Jon ends up sitting on the throne at the end of the day, in King's Landing, I want Ghost to be right next to him. But I also get it too, because he's like, he'll be happier free. Just like the wildlings are with freedom. Like, they can't be contained, locked. Their home is just being truly in the north. Even though technically Jon even said, hey, you are in the north, but right now in Winterfell. But, oh, there you go. But, yeah, I get that, because it's almost like, I don't want to say pet owner, because I feel like he's better than a pet when it comes to Ghost. Just like, right? Ghost is like my child, pretty much, my son, so I get it. But at the same time, as a good pet owner, you gotta make those sacrifices for your pet. I would love to have a dog one day, be a dog owner, but I live in an apartment building, 1-bedroom apartment. I can't do that. It's not fair to the animals, so I would never do that. I need to wait until I actually have a proper house, real property with a backyard, and that's why I stick with cats. I love all animals. One day I would love to live on a farm, have pigs and horses and yeah, well, you name it, chickens. But even though I'm like the ultimate city slicker, so I don't know if that ever actually happened, but perfect life, perfect dream, perfect future for me. I would love that. Just hook me up with like the high-speed internet out in the middle of nowhere. Give me like Khaleesi or Shakira. Let me like settle down with one of them, start a family, then have a few animals running around, my own ghosts. If I'll get a white dog, white husky, or whatever's closest to the dire wolves. I'll get an actual wolf, and I'll name it Ghost as well. And that's the life for me, but that may never actually happen, and that's why I definitely do understand why Jon made that decision as well. All jokes and dreaming aside in regards to sending Ghost off, but at the same time, I also feel like Ghost would be happy by his side. I could be wrong about that, but I guess in the end, that does mean Ghost should be happy and live a peaceful, long, happy, prosperous life, whatever you want to call it, out truly in the north to live out his remaining days. And who knows, maybe start a family of his own? We shall see. I don't want to say doubt, but I don't know if we're ever actually going to see him again. That might have been the last of Ghost. I hope not. Even as a final shot for like the final episode, the series finale, I would love just a simple shot, just seeing him run wild, freedom, you know, just being happy. I don't know if we're going to get that because they kind of made it seem like this will be the last episode of Ghost also. With the Wildlings, with Tormund, with potentially Sam. Or is this the last that we're going to see of some of these characters? I really don't know, but they kind of made it seem that way. But next episode, at least what it seems like we're building into, we don't really have a choice at this point, especially after what Cersei did at the end of the episode. I always get their names mixed up. It's killing me because I want to say Melisandre. I know that was the Red Woman also, so apologies, but we did see her beheaded, not the Red Woman, but Grey Worm's girl. At the end of the episode, I wasn't even sure if Grey Worm was alive coming into this episode either after that last fight, the Great War, but we still have the last war coming up next episode. I think that's really what's going to go down next episode. I don't know if that's going to kind of sprinkle into the last episode, the series finale also. I'm speculating that we're going to get next episode. We should have a complete conclusion in regards to who the actual winner is when everything is said and done. And I feel like the final episode is going to be an epilogue, more or less, just letting us know where each character is as things wrap up. But I don't know how this final war is going to go, because that's the other thing I almost forgot to just say as I brought up earlier. We got a bit of action this episode. Euron and his ships, they took out all of Khaleesi's, it looked like, because god damn, another dragon went down, and it almost seemed too easy because as soon as they arrived at King's Landing, they were ready for them. Took them out right away. That dragon just fucking went down so quick, like didn't let out a single flame. Like there was no fighting involved. It just got hit out of the blue. Here I was. If you watch my reaction, I'm gonna try to include as much as I can from that. But here I was basically talking about the CGI for the dragon, where I was like, you know what? There's been times where the CGI hasn't been so great, and then that dragon gets hit, and that was actually pretty solid CGI. And then dragon goes down, and then yeah, craziness. And then there we are at the very end of the episode. Melis, whatever her name is, I apologize, because she was great all series. It's just I always confuse her name with the Red Woman's. Melisandre, I think it is. Ah, God, it's killing me. But either way, she was captured in the end. I don't know how she got captured. How did she get separated from everybody else on the ships? Because it seems like she was the only one. And Cersei made a threat at the very end. Well, it wasn't even really her, because she sent out her mad doctor, Dr. Frankenstein, to negotiate Khaleesi's surrender, which we all knew was never going to happen with Tyrion. And Tyrion was there to negotiate Cersei's surrender, which I was kind of hoping for, because Tyrion also walked right by him at one point and was like pleading, like, I know you don't care about the people here, but do you care about your baby, your future child? Because you've always been a good mother. You've always cared about your children. You and everybody else is going to get slaughtered if you choose to fight here today and do something that you can't go back on. And you know what she did? She chose something she cannot go back on, because, holy fuck, she gave the nod of approval, beheaded. There goes Grey Worm's girl. That's like, she's been with Khaleesi for so long, as like her basically right-hand girl. I don't even know, when did she take her under her wing? What was that, like season 2 or 3? She's been there for quite some time as well, and she did not deserve that. She was always a kind soul, a pure soul. She was super sweet. She never harmed a single person. She did not deserve that. Out of everybody in the show, for that to really kick off the war, to get beheaded like that, it's always the good. She did not deserve that one bit. But I'm not going to spoil it at all in regards to The Walking Dead, but I kind of saw a similarity there. There's another scene in The Walking Dead where a big war, or right before a big war jumps off, where it's kind of like that. Somebody gets beheaded. I'm not going to say any characters. I'm not going to say who does the beheading. I'm not going to say who's involved in the war, but it kind of reminded me of that scene. If anybody else has watched The Walking Dead, or if there's any other Walking Dead fans out there, I know a lot of people hate that series as well. I'm still a fan, though, holding strong to the very end, just like with this series. Even though it's final season, people hated it, I'm still holding strong to the very end. I'm still loving it. I'm still enjoying it, but it definitely gave me like flashbacks or some resemblances, some similarities to that scene in The Walking Dead. I don't know who did it first, but either way, I enjoyed them both. But yeah, it seems like next episode, the last war is going to pop off. I feel like we're going to lose even more characters. I don't know who's going to die. I don't know who's going to be remaining in the end, but it's another long episode. I did check before this one, because before I jumped into this episode, I was like, all right, let's see how long this one is. I'm like, oh shit, hour and 20 minutes. Let me check how long the next two are. Are they all long? I did check. They're all long, so yeah, I'm probably going to have to give you my reactions on YouTube at least in multiple parts. I don't know how the next couple are going to play out. This one I think is a 2-parter. The last one is probably going to have to be like a 5-parter. It was that damn good. Jokes aside, I'm going to try and limit it to 3. I don't want to go above 3 parts. I feel like that's too much, but I can't include the entire episode. But yeah, I think 3 should do it, but it was that damn good. I don't know what the next 2 have in store for me. I can't wait, though. I think I'm going to end it there, though, guys. I am out of breath. This episode, even though, for the most part, it wasn't too crazy when it comes to the action, it still took a lot out of me, guys. This series, like, I think it's the emotions that really take a lot out of me, because even at the start of the episode, I was not expecting that. As we, like, panned over all the dead bodies, Jorah, Ed, Lyanna Mormont, like, we lost a lot of characters that I did like. It took a lot out of me, like almost tears yet again. And I thought I had cried for the last time, so who knows? 2 episodes left. What's the over-under in regards to my tear count ratio? We shall see. But as always, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, it really helps my channel grow. Till next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't full enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn. You play me like a yo-yo and shit, well, I'm not the one to be.